This is a pre-war guitar company guitar, and they're out of Hillsborough, North Carolina. And this is their 18 model, and it's built to be like a pre-war guitar, and so they're using specs from guitars from the 1930s. And they do different levels of distress on the guitars as well to make them look old. So this one, it's a torrefied top, so that's why it has this deeper brown color, and they also do little cracks in the finish if you look really closely, and on the back there's some scratches. But yeah, I think these guitars are really cool just because they sound like older guitars, and if you pick it up, it's really light like an older guitar would be.
How do you mic it up on stage, or has it got a pickup inside?
Yeah, lately I've been using a pickup, and I have a K&K pickup, and then I have a Grace Felix preamp and a Tone Dexter preamp, so I use one of those two usually. I've been using the Tone Dexter lately.
Do you use any effects on the
No,
guitar?
not right now. Yeah, I've thought about, I've been playing with a fiddle player, Christian Settlemeyer, this year, and he has a lot of different effects on his fiddle, so he's been telling me, like, you should get a reverb or try out these different pedals, but so far I haven't really tried anything on this.
Is that the only guitar you've got, or you were saying you've got another one? So
Yeah, I have I think I have 8 guitars now, so I've got quite the collection, but I have 2 pre-war guitar company guitars. I have this one and then a Brazilian rosewood, and then I have a Thompson guitar, which I love. They're built out in Oregon. I have a Brazilian rosewood, one of those with a really beautiful sunburst on it and some really nice inlay that they did. And those 3 are my main ones, and then I have 2 Huss and Dalton guitars. One of them is actually in an exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame right now, so I can't use it. But they put it in there because that was the one I played when I was winning the IBMA Guitar Award. And then I have a Waterloo from Collings and a Collings hollow body electric guitar, which I don't play much electric guitar, but it's really fun to have one. And then I have a Canon guitar, and those are also built out in Oregon. Well, I started playing when I was 8, and my dad was my first guitar teacher, so I just kind of copied his right hand. And I never thought too much about it. I would always try to make sure it was really loose. But I knew my dad, he also kind of anchors his wrist on the guitar like this. When I play leads, I'm anchoring my wrist, usually on the bridge or on the lower strings. And I just thought that was totally normal because that's what my dad did, and I hadn't really studied other people's right hands. And then when I'm playing rhythm, I'm moving more from the elbow and doing kind of like a flicking motion. And that's just what felt really natural to me and what felt really like relaxed with my right hand. And also the way I hold my pick, I'm holding it like on my first finger, but on this first joint of the finger, and then putting my thumb across it like that. And to me, that creates a lot more stability than holding it like this, where you're kind of having to clench harder. So I think for me that really helps keep my hand loose as well. And then I'll just press the pick lightly when I'm hitting the strings to create volume. So if I'm playing rhythm, it'll look like this. When I play lead, I kind of switch the way I switch the picking motion a little bit.
Alternate picking when you're doing the stuff.
I'm doing mostly alternate picking, and that doesn't mean I'm always playing down, up, down, up, down, up. But on the down beats, I'm hitting a down stroke, and then on the off beats, I'm hitting an up. So if I was playing a measure of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be down, 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 down. But if I was going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, it'd be down, up, down. And then if I was going and it would all be all up picks, like. So that's how I keep the rhythm going with my right hand, and that helps me stay more fluid. And And people like Tony Rice, you see him breaking that all the time, and he still sounds amazing. But I think for me, it's really helpful to keep that rhythm going.
We talked a little bit about the pick and how you hold it and everything. Are you using quite a thick plectrum?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a Dunlop 207. It's like their jazz model, I think it's called, so it's pretty thick. Yeah, for guitar players, David Greer has been one of my big influences, especially with my bluegrass playing. I just love the way he uses so much cross-picking in interesting ways, and he fills out melodies with adding in different chord tones here and there, so you can hear, it's almost like you are hearing a whole band just from hearing him play a fiddle tune. You can hear all the chord changes and everything. And Dave Rawlings is another one of my favorites, and he plays with Gillian Welch, and his playing is just so interesting, and the intervals he uses in his playing really stand out to me. This one's called Seneca Square Dance. Throughout the years, I'm not doing really any teaching this year just because of the album coming out, and I just have been really busy, but I started teaching private lessons when I was a teenager, and my dad, he's a music teacher in the Bay Area, and he always had extra students on his wait list, so sometimes he would pass those students on to me, and I would teach them guitar or banjo. And then I've taught at music camps a lot, so like week-long camps where there's a group of guitar students, usually guitar, sometimes I've taught banjo or singing. But yeah, I've done a lot of teaching through the years and some online teaching as well.
It's funny. I was going to say that some of the stuff you've played already sounds like banjo. Is there a kind of a crossover between the sort of picking styles and things?
I think so. Yeah. I usually don't notice, and then someone will be like, "Hey, that thing you played sounded like a banjo roll," and I think about it, and I'm like, "Yeah, that is a roll that I might play on banjo." Like a lot of the cross picking stuff I play, I think, might be influenced a little bit by growing up playing the banjo. And my brother Sullivan is a guitar player, so growing up we'd play together, and I would play the banjo because he already played guitar. So yeah, I think it definitely is influenced by guitar playing.